Hey friend, welcome. I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and I sell them for a profit. Usually I do a ship with me video and I share what has sold every day, just kind of a realistic look of what sells for a part-time reseller. But today I wanted to talk about the different supplies that I use for reselling. Recently I saw a video of someone else that had done some supplies and it felt like a lot, honestly. And I feel like I'm more of a minimalist. One, I don't like to spend money. Two, I think that when you're just starting out, sometimes you just need to use what you have. So I thought I would go through kind of the process of reselling and share what I use. Yeah, some of these products will be listed in the description. You know, you can use, it's an affiliate link if you want, but no big deal. So first of all, I start by shopping. That's my favorite part. Is it yours? I don't know. And I come home and I put all of my items into my inventory spreadsheet. I use a Vendoo right now, currently. That costs me about $25 a month-ish to use. I also use that for cross-listing. However, when I first started, I just used a Google form, Google Sheets, completely free. I just typed in what the item was, how much I spent on it, when I bought it, and where I bought it. So I, just made up my own little spreadsheet. And then I also added when it sold, how much it sold for, what platform, things like that. But you can make up your own spreadsheet. I know that there are people who also just use pen and paper. And I think that if you have, I would say under like 100 items, that might work. But if it got more than that, I would want to use something electronic just so that searching was easier. So after I put everything into my spreadsheet, I take pictures. I don't have a fancy camera. I just use my phone. You're on my phone right now, so I can't show that to you. I do have disruptions often, and they're my favorites, so they're around sometimes. Yeah, but I take pictures. So when I first started reselling, I used a white fuzzy blanket that I just had laying around my house. I laid it on my bed and I took pictures. Now, I have a bad back. I actually have a neck injury and I've thrown my lower back out too many times. So, bending over on my bed really took a lot out of me and hurt my back a lot. So I needed something that was upright so I could keep my body upright. So now I just have a backdrop. This is stapled. You can't really see it, but it is just stapled across the back of my shelves. This is a tablecloth that I bought at a thrift store, and it actually has some like designs on it, and I don't think that it really matters. I don't know, maybe it does. Maybe I'd get more sales if they weren't. I know some people do have photo room where they make their backgrounds completely white, like completely block out the background. That costs money. I don't think it's necessary. Vendoo does have a it does it for free. It's part of the subscription. I do it sometimes, just depending on if the background looks funky or something. Let's see what else. Oh, I do hang them up with a hanger, but again, a hanger that I just bought at a thrift store or had hanging around my house. The other thing I do use is a ruler, and I bought this for I think $1.50 at Lowe's. Yeah, Lowe's. So I use this to measure my items. The other thing I do when I'm taking pictures is I weigh my items. I do use calculated shipping. And so I go ahead and I put the weight and the dimensions in. I just use the dimensions of my poly mailers for most of my items, just because that's about what I use. I mostly sell clothes, and so I know most of the time what the dimensions of the item are going to be. I do not have a shipping scale. I weigh them on it's a NutriFit electronic kitchen scale. because this was what I had when I started. I had bought this for a science experiment. for like a science class that I was doing with my kids, so I had it on hand. I have used it. My thought was I would replace it when I needed to with an actual postal scale. Well, I've been doing this for 2.5 years, more than 2.5 years at this point, and I've not had to replace it. So it's worked just fine. There are times that my weights have been off, but generally it's been in my favor, where I have estimated, I usually add a few ounces for the shipping, supplies that I add on to the item, like the poly mailer and the label and things like that. So that's all I use for photographing. So then I need to store my items. So you need a place to store your items. For me, I just this past year did everything in a SKU system. So in my inventory spreadsheet in Vendu, I have a number on each item. So here, I have an item here. So this item is number 1987. So I buy these bags, and I bought the bags, but I just reuse the bags. And then I bought these stickers, and I bought the boxes that they all stay in. But prior to that, I just put everything in bins, and I labeled the bins A, B, C, D, E, and on and on. And so until about 1,000 items, that worked really well for me. But one, I was running out of room, and two, I was losing things occasionally, which is not good. Not what you want to do. So, I just used random bins that I had around the house. I first started, I need to backtrack and go to photographs. Sorry, I first started storing my stuff in my closet, in my master closet in my bedroom. I did kind of grow to need more space, and so my husband built these shelves for me out here. There's actually 4 different shelves. There's 2 here and then 2 here. Back to photographs, you do need some sort of light source. My favorite way to do it is to open my garage doors and just have natural light in here. In the winter and sometimes the heat of the summer, that's too much to do. I just have little, this is actually a floor lamp that used to sit in our living room. And then I'm gonna show you this because this is really cool. This was called a garage door light. And it's all LED, and then they open up like this. Anyway, I just screw that in like a light bulb into my floor lamp. I mean, it's not fancy. I've never had a light box. I usually, when I was taking pictures on my bed, I would just move lamps around and open windows. Oh, that's really bright.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Hey.
Yes. What do you need?
Did you see
Your brother?
Yes. Did you see him come by?
I did not. Yeah, he's in the backyard.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh.
He keeps going in and out, so he might be in the backyard. He might be in the house. Anyway, I have another one of those lights on like a clip light, and that one I move around in various places. I can move both of these, so I make them work for both my videos and for when I'm photographing. You're jiggling the table, which is jiggling the camera. Please stop. Okay, so you need a place to store them. It could be a bin, it could be a box with a SKU system. Really, there are, some people just use shelves and put things on shelves and label their shelves. You really can do it however works best for you. All right, so then I need to put my items onto eBay. I use my phone and my computer. You could do it completely just from your phone and not ever have to use a computer. That is possible either by listing on eBay or by listing on Poshmark or by using a third party like Vendu or List Perfectly, or I don't know whatever the other ones are where you would list from another source. You could use that on your phone or your computer. So you don't really need both. You could get away with completely running a reselling business fully on your phone and never having a computer. All right, so then when it is time to ship, my item has sold, I now have to ship it. The first thing I do is get my label. Currently, I use a Jaden's label printer. This is what it looks like. It has a port here that just hooks up to my computer, and I print the labels from there. I do need to buy labels as well to go in my label printer. However, I went a full almost 2 years. Yeah, it was a good year and a half that I went and I only used QR codes. A long time ago, I made a video, I mean like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Well, it couldn't have been 3 years ago. 2 years ago, I made a video on how to use QR codes, and it worked so well for me that I actually had my printer for like 6 months before I actually started using it, because it was so simple for me to use the QR codes. So you don't even really need to have the printer or the labels. But those are some things that I do have. Then you need something to mail it in. Currently, when things sell on eBay and they sell Ground Advantage, I mostly ship them in these poly mailers. I either buy the cheapest ones I can find, usually about 10 by 13. Those are the size that I use. Or I get them on eBay with my eBay supply coupon that I get for having a subscription to an eBay store. You don't have to have an eBay store, but there does come a point that it's beneficial to get one when you have more items and you have to pay more money for additional listings than what your free items would be. I hope that makes sense. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments. I try my best to answer them. Yes, thank you. Subscribe, as my daughter said. I do have a larger size of a poly mailer also, where I can put things that are larger. But really, when I first started out, I used hold on, please. Sorry, don't want to show you my address. I use recycled poly mailers. I get them from Amazon. I get recycled boxes, and these don't cost anything. It's really good to reuse things, right? Reuse, reduce, recycle. That's something we learned a long time ago in elementary school. Personally, I wrap everything in tissue paper and I add a little thank you sticker. These are both things I get on Amazon. I just find the cheapest ones. My tissue paper is 20 by 30. I have had smaller kind of accidentally, but I think you can also get this size at the Dollar Tree if you just wanted to try it out. But I buy like a big, like 500 pack at a time. I'm actually getting kind of low and need to restock. But I don't think those things are necessary at all. You can put your items directly in the poly mailer and not need to wrap it in anything. That's just something that I do that's just a little bit extra. When I do use a box, like I said, I try to use reusable boxes, reused boxes, recycled boxes. There we go. I knew I'd get to it eventually. I do have boxes from eBay that are 8 by 6 by 4 that I buy, because I use them a lot for hats and bras and belts. But again, I get those with my coupon, and honestly, I get a similar size from Amazon very often. And so I always use those as well. When I do use a box, you need some sort of tape. They sell packing tape at the Dollar Tree. I have this big old tape dispenser because I don't like a tape gun. And I have this silent tape, which does not make the horrible screeching sound that regular packing tape makes. That is for me because I have some sensory things, and the packing tape is one of the things that really makes me crazy. But I don't think that it's necessary. I did say last week that this is probably my favorite reselling tool because it does make me just a lot more sane. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh, I do use a lint roller. I can't find one that works really well. So I think you probably could even do without a lint roller and just, you know, wash your stuff. Oh, washing stuff. Yes. So, sometimes there are stains, sometimes there is washing. I do have my personal washing machine is in my garage out here, so that makes it really convenient. I do wash items that need to be washed. As far as stains, I don't do a whole lot. I do have a little bin over here that has some cleaning supplies, and I'll show you that in just a minute but I really don't use them often. Let's see, I'm trying to think of what else. I do have a sweater shaver, but again, I think that's an extra and not something that's absolutely needed. What else do I have in here? I use tea bags that are peppermint, and that helps to like keep the bugs away. And also I can put them, if something is like, if I've stain treated it and like tried to get smoke smell out, I can put it in a bag and it will take the smoke smell away significantly. I use these out here to deter for bugs, just because again, I do store everything in my garage. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything else. I don't think so. So let's go look at those. So this is my little drawer of cleaners. I have, let's see, alcohol. I have nail polish remover. I have an oil. This is Young Living. Don't get Young Living. I'm not a big MLM fan. That's a different subject. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what kind, but essential oils will help get the marker off the soles of shoes. And then the other thing I had is this Dr. Martin's Wonder Balsam for leather. And I've only really ever used it on like a pair of boots. Other than that, all of this is just kind of random stuff. This was me trying to figure out a solution for lint rollers, and those don't really work very well either, in my opinion. What else is this? Shoe goo. Shoe repair. I don't really know why I have that. But that's about it for my cleaner. This is honestly the only cleaner that I really use on a regular basis, and I just soak stuff in OxyClean, and if the stain doesn't come out after that, I give up, because I just personally don't want to spend that much time and effort trying to clean something. So I think that's it. I mean, there's certainly other things you could get, right? You could get a really fancy camera. You could get a light box. You could get a fancy backdrop for your photographing. You could get a rack to hang clothes on. You could get a steamer, and I don't know. I don't steam my clothes. Maybe that's to my detriment, but I don't. Things get wrinkled again once you ship them, so I don't know. Anyway, that's what I use. I think that that's kind of a minimalist approach. I don't think that there's many things that you have to have in order to sell. And even some of the things that I think are important or a must really aren't. So let me know what you think. Do you have things that you're like, yes, I have to have this, and Jen didn't mention it, and so I need to tell the whole world that this needs to be taken. This needs to be on their list. Let me know. I want to hear that. And everybody read the comments to get other people's opinions. Or if I have something on my list that you're like, I don't think you need that at all, let me know that too. What's important to you, what's not. Because I think we all have different needs and different things within our reselling context, that it doesn't all have to look the same. All right. Like and subscribe if you haven't. That's all I have for you today. I really appreciate you joining me. I can talk. I'll see you soon.